State Department of Children and Families, or DCF, is under the microscope tonight following the release of a report showing system-wide failures that led to the death of a 14-year-old autistic boy in Fall River. David Almond was under DCF's purview when he was pronounced dead from starvation back in October of 2020. The Office of the Child Advocate is now recommending changes for DCF to ensure no child ever faces that type of neglect again. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo is live for us in Springfield with more. Audrey.
Officials with the Office of the Child Advocate say that there needs to be changes across the board. They admit that the COVID-19 pandemic did change the way that visits were held with families and also may have altered the way that people could see abuse in children. They're recommending changes with the reunification process with parents.
David loved and was loved by his brothers.
14-year-old David Almond, described as a courageous, caring teen with autism. In March of 2020, David and his brother Michael were reunified with their father and his girlfriend, leaving a residential facility where they were being cared for. By October of 2020, state officials say the brothers had not been seen on camera participating in remote learning in the Fall River school system. On the 21st of that month, David was found unresponsive at his home, and his brother Michael had injuries. David's death was ruled homicide by starvation. David's father, John Almond, and John's girlfriend, Jacqueline Coleman, were charged with murder, but the case raised the question: how was the abuse and neglect able to go undetected for months? The Office of the Child Advocate, an independent agency called to investigate, says there was a multi-system failure with the Department of Children and Families at the center.
The decision to reunify was a serious error that unfortunately was compounded by the pandemic.
OCA officials say the boys were seen through virtual visits with DCF and that it would have been harder to mask their neglect had the visits been conducted in person.
Given the state of their starvation at the time that the EMTs arrived to take them to the hospital, that it would have been very evident that they were being starved to death.
OCA recommending a host of changes to the system, including standardizing parental evaluations based on family history, reviewing practices regarding disabilities, reevaluating which families require in-person visits, and thoroughly documenting reunification plans. Governor Baker Wednesday vowing to make those recommendations a reality.
I expect and anticipate that everything in there is going to get implemented, and it's going to get implemented on a statewide basis.
In the short term, state officials confirm employees have been terminated.
The senior leadership of the Fall River office was replaced. The area director and the area clinical program manager.
Kids are not going to speak up for themselves sometimes.
Western Mass News spoke with Brenda Mostello, a local grandmother who's fighting to keep her granddaughter rather than seeing her reunified with the child's mother. She says these new changes could help.
I think they have to look deeper and further than just taking parents' word that they're capable of taking care of a child.
State Senator Gomez also speaking out on this issue tonight. He says in part, quote, as the Senate chair of the Joint Committee on Children, Families, and Persons with Disabilities, I'm committed to ensuring that our children are protected, advocated for, and kept safe. Reporting live for Western Mass News, I'm Audrey Russo.